And we're live now. Okay, this is live number 2. You can't really say much about being on a mountain and still being able to get Wi-Fi, so I ain't going to complain. But I'm here with Justin Scott, the sculptor and tree surgeon, gardener and extraordinaire kind of guy. As we were talking about a minute ago, really one of the things that I think would really interest people is how do you become a snow sculptor from the UK, given the fact we're not known as a nation full of great snow. In fact, one of the key things you only ever find out about the snow is when the Londoners kind of complain about 2 flakes and it kind of stops everyone from the transport. So, how did you get started?
Okay, thank you very much, Martin. I used to come here on holiday and I used to snowboard and ski in the resort, and each evening we were lucky enough to go up to, we were in the sister hotel, we were lucky enough to go up to the daddy hotel and we were able to eat. And one evening I went up and an old guy, about 70, ordered a full bottle of whiskey, dunked it on the bar and poured himself a big slug. And then what happened was I thought there was something wrong here, so I went up to him and I said to him, "What's the problem? Are you okay?" And he turned around and looked back at me and he said, "Mais oui, no. Engelbert, who cannot sing, my partner, is ill in bed." And he said, "I cannot complete my sculpture. I have failed Ischgl. I have failed my country." And at that point, I wanted to say to him, "Wow, this is your lucky day, buddy. I happen to be a fully trained figurative sculptor." but I thought I better not say that. So I just said to him, "Would you like some help?" And he said to me, "You would give up your holiday for me? You would do this?" Well, I was getting fed up going up and down the slopes anyway, and I couldn't think of anything better to do than to learn how to use snow to make sculpture. And so I did. I came up with Chameleon. The very next day, he was Papa Smurf, of course, because he was a boss. We built the Smurf house. I was in charge of making the smaller Smurfs for in the windows. And he showed me how to sand off the mess we'd made in the morning when the temperature's freezing cold, how to dig to keep warm, in the afternoon how to use the scrapings to patch up, when to put the detail on and when not to put the detail on. It's a very important lesson I got from him, and how to use the snowcats. And so we spent a week doing that, and I happened to have a website with my sculpture on it, and he showed it to the organizer, and the organizer just went, "Wow, you know, if we invited you, would you come back?" And I did, and I never regretted it. And as Martin says, there's no snow in England, and my best is a second in this competition. Out of 300 points and 10 judges, my points, so there's 30 points per judge, my points were 279, the next nearest was 238, and the guy who pipped it was in at 282. And the nicest thing was, he was Italian, he always won, it didn't matter. We were given the prizes, he thanked everybody and he walked out the room, and the rest of the snow sculptors lined up in a queue and physically thanked me and my snow sculpting partner and said, "Your sculpture was the best." And I think that to me meant more than winning the first. When those guys did that, it really touched my heart. And so I love coming back. You know, the invitation comes through. If I've got the time, if I can afford to do it, because we're both self-employed, then we come and do it. So right now, you've got the cable cars in the background, the sun's just over here. The glare off this sculpture is hitting us in the face. We're wearing Factor 30 sun cream, and we've both got the ginger gene.
Yeah.
There's another English competitor called Tony Bear, and the reason he's called Tony Bear is he went tobogganing in a fleece, and when he stood up at the bottom, he looked like a snowman, snow teddy bear. And they said, "Tony Bear." Yeah. Now Tony Bear's got 2 brothers. He's got the rock lobsters. So, so we're just bright red now. I've got the ginger gene. Martin's got the ginger gene. Yeah. And so we're going to form a band. Yeah. Tony Bear and the Rock Lobsters.
And I think the one thing we can say, this isn't really typical, is it, of having such amazing weather? Because we've been up here doing sculpture before in the past, and it's been kind of, probably better warn you guys, we just stood
on uneven floor.
On a bit of a snow pile, which has kind of been left of the rubble that was thrown aside. But anyway, behind side, but this is not normal, typical weather. We usually get massive blizzards. We've been out here in like 30 kilometre 40-mile-an-hour winds, and it's like minus God knows how many numbers. So it's a real pleasure actually to be out in the sun and just being able to get on with the sculpture. Although I must admit, I'm shedding layers quicker than anything else.
Yeah, yeah. So from one side of the sculpture, we're stood here in the sun, it's probably feels like 10 Celsius. If we're working, feels like about 20 Celsius. On this side, we're down to t-shirts, we're in the lee of the wind. On the other side of the sculpture, we're in the wind, and it drops by minus 15. So literally, you go over there, you put your clothes on, you start working, you come around here, you take your clothes off.
Yeah, it's a very dynamic way of working, really, isn't it? Yeah,
it is, and I don't know if Martin did mention about the sunshine today, but we could burn it under the clouds.
Yeah, definitely. Beyond a measure of a doubt. So anyway, we've got a lot more work to do. We hope you guys are still enjoying these lives. Please leave comments, thumbs up, likes, all the usual kind of things. Share with anybody you think would be interested in a bit of snow sculpting. And yeah, we'll keep you guys posted. Obviously, we come here to compete, enjoy spending time with other sculptors and just being on top of a mountain and helping Ischgl out. We have no guessing about where we're going to come in the ranking, and to be frank, even if we came 10th, I'd still be happy. But my gut feeling is we're going to put a freaking awesome sculpture together this year.
We're going to have to see. We're going for a big one. We're literally 4 meters square.
Yeah,
that's a lot of surface area. We've got a lot of digging out to do. So we've just created the huge stage, the back of it, the sides of it, the top of it are now flat. And tomorrow we're really going to start working on the front, where I've got to come down, find Elton John's head, he's in there somewhere, and attach Evo, who's sculpting. I've got to get Alphonse made, Pierre made. Martin's got to do the surface on the front of this huge monolith of a sculpture.
It's like 2001 here, Space Odyssey.
And I'm thinking, ooh, can we get it done? So let's do a bit of this, cross a bit of that, wish as well, and let's get stuck in, mate.
Yeah, and if we get a bit of spare time at the end, we might even have a few surprises in store as well. All right, well, it's been a pleasure with you guys. Speak to you all tomorrow. Have fun. Bye.